Hey, it's Mimi, and I am not in my kitchen. You know what I did today? I decided to get my old behind up out the bed before noon today. And I did, and I've already started my dinner for this afternoon. Right now, it's 11 o'clock in the morning. And I have actually been sitting down in it and just having the peace and quiet because the last kid leaves out a little bit before 9 o'clock. And so I've been sitting and vegetating for the last 2 hours. And it feels good to vegetate every now and then. Um, One of the things that I have finally decided to do was to try to figure out some way. I've been trying for 3 years. My grandkids have been living with my husband and I for 3 years, be 4 years starting in this coming November will be the beginning of our fourth year. And I have really been trying to figure out this meal plan thing because cooking every single day for 11 people, it is, yeah. And I wanted to leave this as part of my legacy to teach them the joy of cooking and of eating and joining in with me when I cook, because I remember my grandmother, and I didn't cook like this when my kids were growing up. I did not cook. My husband did all the cooking, and I did the homework with him. And so but it has been such a rewarding experience to help them learn how to cook different things. Everybody has their own little thing. Let me put it this way: everybody from I think the bottom five, the teenagers, they don't want nothing to do in the kitchen because they think it might leave. They might have to wash a dish in the meantime, so they don't really want to cook. That's okay. They've seen me cook, and they may come back to it at another time. If not, hopefully they'll marry somebody who does like to cook. In the meantime, I'm trying to give the kids a love of the kitchen and the love of experimenting and making up recipes and things like that. And I do a lot of that. I find a lot of my inspiration online with other moms and dads of large families and other cultures and stuff like that. So I've been having a good time with that. But one thing I found is two things. Number one is to plan your meals ahead of time. I've been planning. You see, this is the first book I used in 2016. They came to live with us in November 2015, and I floundered for the first couple months. I said, what in the heck am I going to do? And I said, I was a teacher for 33 years. I was an educator, and I never went to the classroom not knowing what I was going to do that day. So I got my little composition book, call it my MiMi's Cookbook Meal Menu Organizer. And that's what I did for that particular school year. The rest of that year, that's what I did, was plan the meals. And in here, I start off with I would compile a list of all the items we had so far. And this is how many different meals? This is 55 different meals. 55, right down 55 different meals so far. Is that 55? Yeah, 55. And that's as of the end of that year. And then I started off this year with a different book. I got another book. And also in this book, not only do I have my meal plans, but I also have let me see, show you what particular day I did. This one is for the week of October 10. And what I did was I wrote down for how many meals. I did this from the 10th, 11th through the 22nd. Oh, this is when I was planning for a month at a time. Ooh, that was rough because I would have to take into account, all the kids' schedules, and the schedule were never static. They always changed from one time to another. So I quickly realized that I had to change from monthly I changed to 2 weeks. Even that didn't work. This one here is my shopping list that I would have to try to shop for that month. And it was rough. And so I did that for probably, let me see, I'm looking on here. I have this week's eats. It didn't take me long to realize that wasn't going to work. So that was beginning of October when I did that. And here, this is right around Thanksgiving. I have already reduced it to 1 week at a time, this week's eats. And so then I went from that to trying to find all these ideas. And what I would do, I was look in magazines. I'd get magazines, doctor's offices, or wherever I saw them, and I'd find menus that I liked, and I'd either take a picture of it or tear it out. I ain't tear it out the doctor's office. In the doctor's office, I just took a picture of it on my phone and then printed it out when I got home. But I had some great ideas, and I got food magazines and stuff like that. And here's another weekly menu from by March. I guess it must have been working from March 26th to March to April 1st. And I have lunches on here. The days that there's no school, I have lunch, breakfast, stuff like that. And every day I try to have something totally different. And I wore myself out that first year. I want to just say that. Okay, that's all I did was cook. I was always in the kitchen like that. Then the next year, which was last year, 2017. I got it right on there so you can see it. That's 2017. And I started to really get a handle of it on it. This is 2017 to 2018. And I just went through online, Pinterest, and Facebook, and on That's So Tasty and stuff like that, and got recipes, and I would just print them out, and upside down. I would print them out, and then I would make comments on them to see if the kids liked them. This was a 5-star one. This is Korean barbecue, crock pot pulled pork, and Korean barbecue with Korean barbecue sauce. They devoured it. That was a 12.5-pound pork butt. And I have all the instructions here. Here's how I made it. I call it big batch cooking. That's when I first started doing big batch cooking, realizing that if I'm going to cook it, I might as well make a lot of it and then freeze whatever I have left over. And this particular one I have here, I made big batch meatloaf. See, big batch meatloaf? You see how much I used? I'll tell you how much I used. I used 30 pounds of ground beef, or a combination of ground beef, ground sauce, or ground pork, ground chicken, ground turkey. It was ground meat. 30 pounds, 20 eggs, 20 cups of breadcrumbs. And for the breadcrumbs, I used stuffing. And I pulverized it in a food processor. And that's how I made my meatloaf. And here's another one I did. Oh, they love this one. Can you see what that is? Taco tater tots. And or you can do the same thing on French fries. And essentially I made tacos with ground meat, and then just like I was getting ready to make tacos. And then I took the tater tots and put the tater tots after we cooked them in a bowl. Put tater tots in a bowl and put the taco meat over the lettuce and the tomatoes, just like you do in tacos, except I did it on top of tater tots. Loved it. That's when we got 5 stars. And all my dinners are not 5-star. I have some that I don't know if I see one here that I made a notation. It was nasty. I don't even remember what it was, but I know I wasn't supposed to do that no more, because the kids did not like it. I don't know what it's from. I would say 95% of what I cook, they love it. And knowing that, I said, well, why am I coming up with all these different things every single day? And there are times when they say, Mimi, can we have this again? I said, we know, well, y'all ate it all today. So I said, it don't, Lord, it's so good. And this summer, while I was on vacation, I said, you know what I'm going to do? I said, why don't I just deliberately cook 2 meals at a time? And so that's what I did. And I started cooking, and I call them double menu days. And I do a menu for the week. I got more organized, y'all. I do a menu now that looks like this. Okay. And this is for this week. This is this week's menu. But I've actually changed it, because what I did was I printed out 2 menus, and I put this week's menu on the refrigerator and didn't realize it was this week's menu. I did this last Monday. And I started feeding us from last week's menu. And so I said, well, I'm not going to do the same thing again. So I had to revise it. So this is not actually the menu we're having this week. I had to change it 2 days. But if you can see here, see where it says double menu day, okay. And what I have done is, and here's another double menu day. I have it now, so I only have to really prepare or come up with meals for 3 days a week. And on Saturday, or whichever day is the 7th day, usually it's Saturday, because I have my menu set up. First day is a Sunday, and then last day is Saturday. And I set it up, and that Saturday is a leftover day. We have peanut butter and jelly or lunch meat and sandwiches and chips on Saturday for lunch. And then for dinner, we'll have leftovers, whatever the leftovers is. And if we don't have any leftovers, we'll have hot dogs and baked beans or hot dogs and potato salad, whatever's left, something different. And but that's what I've done. And then for breakfast, if you can look on here for breakfast, I actually don't have a separate breakfast menu. It's the same every day. And what I've done is, it's hard trying to figure out, number one, I want them to have something in their gut when they leave the house. The older ones, they don't have what they want to eat. And so, hey, I'm not going to force them to eat. So anyway, what I will do is, I have on here, I have boiled eggs in the refrigerator, bacon that I have pre-cooked, 5 to 10 pounds of bacon at a time, and I have that in the refrigerator. Cereal, yeah, the sugary stuff that make your teeth fall out on the floor, and oatmeal, and also yogurt, fresh fruit. Let's see what else I have that they can have for breakfast. Yeah, of course, milk, if they drink it. They don't like milk, so I have to keep 1 gallon of chocolate milk in the refrigerator to try to make sure they drink that. Oh, and cinnamon buns. And so they have access to all of that. And Dad is the one that gets them up in the morning. And he will either, like this morning, I think he fixed cinnamon buns for them. They'll have that with milk, grab some fruit, and out the door they go. And so I try to make sure that they do have access to all of the breakfast stuff. And it's right there. So whatever they want that morning, they can get it and have breakfast. And they're normally ready before the bus comes, at least 45 minutes before the bus comes. And they're able to pretty much, at this point, they're old enough, most of them can fix their own breakfast. They can fix their own oatmeal, their own, and the bacon is already fried, so they just put it in the microwave for 30 seconds, and that crisps up really good. And except I have to teach some of the older ones how to do the buns, the cinnamon buns. They all say they know how, but we just need to, kind of figure that out a little bit for them. And so today, the reason I'm able to talk to you today is because this is actually day 1 of menu day, but it's easy day. It's a box today. Let me show you what I got. I'll be right back. Okay, this is what's for dinner today. I bought this at Sam's Club. And according to my double menu day, we're supposed to have the exact same thing in tomorrow, or a variation of it, But this is also starting my 2nd month. I'm so proud of this. Dun, 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 dun. Starting my 2nd month of our freezer, pantry, refrigerator challenge. And I got this idea from our tribe of many. And that's an awesome blog. And I'll put the link to it underneath. And she used everything out of her refrigerator, almost down to the ice on the walls, using up everything. And excuse me, I started doing that the 1st of September, Labor Day weekend, before Labor Day weekend. And it didn't last that long because, you see, was that Labor Day weekend? When was the 1st of September? 1st of September was, yeah, first Saturday, Labor Day weekend. And, excuse me, Froggy, I had to cook him for dinner. No, never mind. We needed to be able to be better stewards of what the Lord had been blessing us with. And I have 3 freezers, 2 refrigerators. Each refrigerator has a freezer on the side of it, packed with food, packed to the point that I couldn't put any more in. I was still shopping every day. Well, not every day, but once a week, every 2 weeks, once a month, whatever. I said, it's somehow that, you know, everybody should go on vacation, because it came to me on vacation. Why are you doing that? Why are you buying more food when you got a freezer full of food? So, when I saw the challenge from Sarah, that's her name, Sarah, on YouTube, I said, you know, I'm going to do that. And I started doing it. And the only thing I buy at the store is I buy, I may buy, depending upon how much bread I have in it, because the freezer takes, the bread takes a lot of room in the freezer. But I might buy bread, maybe, if I run out, because I have like 5 or 6 loaves out. So if I run out of bread, I'll buy the bread. But I buy fresh fruit, fresh vegetables, or frozen vegetables, and dairy, like eggs, milk, something like that, that I just don't have it, because, and I can't keep it that long in order to, and it has to be replenished. But God, let me tell you how good God is. We have one of our church members has every Thursday she comes by and brings us. I never know what she's going to bring. Sometimes she brings a lot of bread. Look for bread, lots of vegetables or lots of fruits. She'll bring milk. Lately, she's been bringing us 4 and 5 gallons of milk at clip, and so I've been freezing the milk. And when I got to the point where I couldn't freeze it all, I started making stuff with milk. For example, yesterday we had mashed potatoes, and I have a big gallon carton of mashed potatoes. They're powdered mashed potatoes or flake mashed potatoes. You get them from Sam's Club, and it took 8 cups of milk to do that. And so, I'm sorry, 16 cups of milk to make the mashed potatoes for all these folks, and it was delicious. I did the mashed potatoes. I used the milk instead of the water. It calls you so milk and water. I used all milk. I used garlic powder, and onion powder, lots of butter. And pepper. It was delicious. They ate every single flake of the potatoes and just said, Plus I had gravy too. I did beef gravy. I'm not sure if I did that video yesterday. I don't even know. They were so hungry, and because I didn't get this, the buses came late, so they really didn't get a chance to have a snack like they normally would. And so by the time dinner was on the table, they were about ready to eat the box. But anyway, I have beef with broccoli today, and we're gonna have sweet teriyaki chicken tomorrow. Now, if you look here, it look pretty much like the same, doesn't it? Hey. But I didn't want to go out and buy another one of these just to have a double menu day. So I said, well, go ahead and I'll use this. And so one of these is not enough. Let's see, this one says it has 4 servings per container. 4 servings per container. It must mean, yeah, 4 in here. So I have to get this to 8. Or more, because we got 11 people we're feeding. And so what I do is I just add more vegetables. For example, I'm going to add stir-fried vegetables to this, along with I have this. Let me see what this is. Sliced rice cake. These are made from rice. So instead of adding, you always use rice with everything. So instead of adding rice or having this with rice, I'm using rice cakes. I got this from a Korean grocery store. And I'll let these thaw, and I'll mix this in with this, plus the stir-fried vegetables, and it's more than enough for everybody. Yes. And that's for today. And then for tomorrow, we're going to have the sweet teriyaki chicken, and I'll add frozen mixed vegetables to this. And I will serve this with rice. So I have mixed vegetables added with this, because I only have, this box right here was totally empty downstairs. I thought I had, and somebody had gotten it and put the box back in there. But anyway, I do have one of these still downstairs. And I'll use this with rice. And, I also cut up, I will make, I forgot what they call it. It looks like a crepe, but it's actually just made with eggs. I whip the eggs up, pour it in the skillet, let it nice and flat, let it cook up, and then I slice it and mix it in with this. More protein in here, along with the rice, and I have some chicken wingettes I'll add to this. And they were downstairs, and looking through the freezer, I saw those today. So they'll have that. I will not have any broccoli of the beef left over. I know they love that. They devour it. So I'm going to do that. And so I do double menu days. And I also try to do big batch cooking days on the days that I don't have to cook. Like this would ordinarily be tomorrow, but tomorrow, I'm making notes so I can tell you about tomorrow. Tomorrow is, what did I tell you now? Tomorrow, we're going to have our water's being cut off tomorrow because they're working on the water mains on our street. So they have to cut the water off from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. So there'll be no water. So I'm not staying in the house. Who wants to be in the house with no water? You know. So my husband and I are going to go down and visit with my sister and my parents. They're about 60 miles, well, about 50 miles away. And we're going to go visit with them tomorrow. We'll be back home about like 2 o'clock, 2:30. And just in time to get here. Hopefully the water's just about on, or if it's not on already, be on by then. And so anyway, normally tomorrow would be a big batch cooking day. Since I don't have to cook a regular meal, then I would go ahead and cook a big batch of something. On here, I have big batch cooking for, can you see that right here? Since I have to make rice for dinner tomorrow anyway, I'm just going to go ahead and make a big batch of rice. And I'll do 2 pans of rice. And I use the, the half aluminum pans with the aluminum top on it. I'll put it in there, cover it with plastic wrap, and then the aluminum top, and freeze it. And it freezes perfectly. So, and then I've already got rice for the next meal. And if I don't use all the rice I don't use at that meal, if I'm not having a rice meal the next day, then I'll go ahead and make rice pudding. And that's what I did last night. They had rice pudding for dessert. Unfortunately, some of them didn't want to eat it, which is fine with me because I like raisins in my rice pudding. Most of them don't like raisins in their rice pudding. Oh well, more for me. But they still got some because I could see where they had picked through all the raisins and left the raisins in the pan. Awesome, because I can have more raisins in my rice pudding. Yes. Okay. I think that's about it for this one. And I will try my best. I promised before that I was going to make more videos, but I didn't do that. And I'm so sorry. But I'm going to try to do better because I'm trying to, it's either this or write a cookbook for my grandkids. I don't have time to write no cookbook. So I'm going to go ahead. Hopefully these videos will be up until the internet crashes in the year 2099 or 2999, and it's still MiMi still be out there with her cooking and stuff, so they can look and see what my recipes are. And I would tell you too, if somebody in your family knows how to cook and they got the special stuff you like, ask them to make a video or write it down or do a cookbook or something, because all those good recipes are gone. And I just praise God that my grandmother that I just hung at her apron to learn how to do a lot of the cooking. And I don't think there's anything my grandmother made other than rolls and biscuits that I don't know how to make. Everything she cooked, I know how to make everything. And so it would be, I would hate for her legacy to me to die with me. So I'm teaching my grandkids, and even the older ones who don't want to listen, I have videos up so they can just look at the video and figure out what to cook. So even if it's not posted, and I'm hoping to post all my old videos. So I'm gonna have to do MiMi back in the day or something like that, so that you'll know they're not the ones I cooked this week, but they're one from a year ago when I wasn't making videos as often as I should. Anyway, this is MiMi, not in the kitchen. I'm in her office, and I'm getting ready now. I'm up here. I'm up here. Let me show you what I'm doing. I am. Let me see if I can do this. Can you see that? I don't know if you can see this. That is my dashboard where I am actually editing that video. And I hope to have that video up tomorrow, because somebody, one of my viewers, had requested that I make some mac and cheese. Well, let me tell you something. I don't make the real mac and cheese from scratch. I don't do that. It takes me much time. So I get a good quality a mac and cheese like Stouffer's, and I MiMiize it. I put in the extra cheese, the extra this, the extra that. Anyway, it's in that video, so you have to watch the video to see what that is. And the kids, one time one of the kids told me, "Ooh, Mimi, this is so good, I could take a bath in it." Hey, it works. If it works, why do the other stuff? I need to conserve my time and energy because I got children to help raise and nurture. Yes, this is Mimi, and I'm not in my kitchen. Bye-bye. Please like and subscribe.